Ladies and gentlemen, federal employees, does the 60-40 mix apply to you? Now, if you've never heard about the 60-40 mix in retirement, I've got a good treat for you today. This is a really helpful tool, not perfect tool by any means, but helpful tool to get an idea of how you should be investing in retirement, potentially, depending on your situation. But that's what we're going to dive into today. If you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Dallin Haas. I'm a financial planner who serves federal employees just like you, and I love it. Now, what's the 60-40 rule? What is this, right? So, 60-40. This is referring to how many retirees invest in retirement. So that is 60% stocks and 40% bonds. So if we change that to TSP language, the stocks are the C fund, the S fund, and I fund, right? C, S, and I. Bonds are the F fund and G fund. Okay? So, what is the 60-40 split? Well, this is what you call the stereotypical retirement allocation. Okay? The stereotypical way that a retiree invests 60% of their money in long-term investments like CS and I, 40% of their money in bonds. Now, this, for some people, really freaks them out on both sides. Number one, some people say, well, only 40% in the F and G? Do I really want 60% of my money in the CS and I that's going to fluctuate all over, right? The short answer is, yeah, probably you do, right? And then the other side, some people, especially after the last couple of years where the market's done exceptionally well, some people say, well, only 60% of my money in CS and I and 40% in the G and F, which don't grow a ton after inflation, right? I hear complaints on both sides, right? But why is it essential to have a balance? Well, this is why. Retirement's a different time. Retirement, most people, I can't say this for everybody, but most people are wanting to take withdrawals in retirement. And if you're trying to take withdrawals, and if you've got most of your money here in the CS&I, and it's fluctuating like this, let's say the market's here, and the market's down, let's say. Is that the time that you want to sell, to go on that vacation, to go on that trip? Is that the time that you want to say, yep, let's cash out, let's take a withdrawal? If you have all your money here in the CS&I, you're selling when the market is down. That's what you're doing. You're selling when you're not getting a good price for it. And we all relate to our houses. Like, for example, your house. The only two times in the history of you owning your house that it matters how much it's worth is when you buy it and when you sell it. How much it fluctuates in between doesn't make a whole difference, right? But when you buy it and sell it, that's when it matters. And if you, let's say that value of your house plummets one day, is that the time to go sell? No, that's not the time to sell, right? So having too much money here in the CS&I makes you vulnerable to when the market is down significantly, and you still want to enjoy your retirement. You've got no buffer. You've got no buffer if you've got all your money here in the CS&I. Okay. Now, if you're too conservative, if you have too much money in the G and F, then over time your money's just not going to grow much after inflation. You need a balance. Now, is the 60-40 split, is that balance, that percentage, exactly right for everybody? No, it's not. No. I'm a financial planner. I help people retire all the time. I help manage investments all the time for clients. And it's not. It's actually, yeah, most people aren't exactly at that point. Okay, 60-40. This is, with any rule of thumb, it's helpful just to get a gauge of what kind of is normal-ish, but that's basically as far as it goes. So I bring this up just to give you a gauge, because some people are way too far on either of the extremes. Again, see, having too much here or too much here. Okay? Now, when would it make sense, like I said, this isn't for everybody, when would it make sense for someone to be more conservative than this? And when would it make sense for someone to be more aggressive? Well, I'll tell you how we approach it. You can approach it however you'd like, but this is how we approach it here at our firm. Our approach is, it all comes down to when you're planning to use the money. For example, if somebody is planning to retire and then take, let's say, half their TSP out immediately to go buy a boat or to go buy that second home in retirement or pay off the mortgage or something like that, then they need a lot more money really, really soon. So they may want a lot more in bonds and safe investments so that money is there for them when they want to take it out. They don't want the market fluctuate and be down here when they want to take that huge withdrawal early in retirement. So if someone needs a lot of money early, maybe they want to be heavier in, let's say, G and F. But let's talk about the other side. What if you're retiring? This happens all the time. What if you're retiring and you start getting your pension and maybe your Social Security or the first supplement or whatever it may be, and you realize, well, I'm living off these things and I'm having a great time in retirement, have a great lifestyle. I don't really need to touch my TSP. That happens all the time. So some people say, look, if I need the TSP, great, but for now I really don't. I'll just let it grow. And if I never really touch it, no problem. I'll pass it to charity or to kids one day. That's how some people approach it. And for those people, they may want to say, look, I don't really plan on using this. Maybe they want to be more aggressive over time and have more skewed to long-term investments because they don't need it for a while. So those are some principles to consider. Again, the 60-40 split is a nice rule of thumb just to know about, to give a gauge of kind of where you might be, and then being more conservative or more aggressive based on what your actual goals are can be a good way to approach it. Again, there's lots of ways to approach it. There's no right answer. I don't know what makes sense for you, but hopefully that gives you some, just puts you in the ballpark of where you want to be throughout your retirement so you can get the most out of your money and retire confident. So I hope that's helpful. I'll see you in the next video.